Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jem, and in these videos I go over sewing things that I've made in the past or are planning to make. In this video, I'm going to be going over all of the items that I ended up making in the month of October, and it is quite a lot of things. So make sure you are all settled in to hear me talk about all the lovely things that I made in the month of October. So we have 8 items to go through in this video. Let's get right into it. The first thing that I'm going to go over is this very soft society dress. So I've been wanting to make one of these since it came out in January. This is the Gertie's society dress. I found this amazing fabric at Joann's. I was just shopping for something else and I ended up spotting this out of the corner of my eye, and I am a sucker for any ZODIAC or astrology type fabric or textiles. A lot of things, but in particular textiles for sure. So I picked this up. It is actually a fleece, but it's a velvet fleece, so those are kind of, she was doing the patterns in velvet, so I was like, oh, I can make that out of that should work, right? Yes, it did work. So you're seeing it on me and it looks fine. I definitely, the part right here is a little wonky and chunky, but that's because the fabric is a little bit too thick for this, I think. And I have extremely tiny wrists, which are deceiving to people with my weight. I think my wrists always make me look like super thin, and honestly, if my wrists were not as thin as they are, there's no way I would be able to get my arms in here. The way that this cuff is made and the way that I made it, and because this fabric is not as stretchy as it should be, whoo, Lord, I could not get my wrist in here if it weren't for that. So that's something to note for myself, and not using the proper stretchy fabric. After I made it, I wore it once out and it was fine. It fits. It's very warm, so that's nice for the upcoming weather, but it's not fitted in the way that I would like it. It's a little bit too big here, which is nice. That means I'm losing my baby weight finally. But other than that, I think it came out great and I am pleased with it, and I've already gotten some compliments. The next one we are going to go over is my son's Halloween costume. This was the first thing I made when October started because I was just terrified that I wouldn't get it done in time, and also I wasn't sure if he was even gonna wear it, if I'd have to make something else, you know, whatever it is. He's his own person. So I made this relatively quickly. So this is obviously the head portion. Came together really quickly. This is just some felt fabric, and all of it's just felt, and like a little bit of filling in here. And then for the body, same thing. There's the tail. This was definitely the hardest thing to make because it's so hard to stuff and make it very full like this. And it was getting little bits of debris on it everywhere we went, and my baby, he did not like that. He was not into it being messy, so we had to stop every little bit and kind of clean the tail off. But it's definitely got some wear on the tail from us going trick-or-treating. It's a little bit too big for him, so we rolled up the sleeves, and I used I special ordered some blue Velcro for this. It came together really easily, and I believe I showed you guys before, I used the Butterick pattern, vintage pattern for this, and so I would definitely recommend it if you're doing something for a toddler. My son didn't like it for some sensory issues. He would refuse to wear the hat. We got some pictures, which I'll show you, without his face in it, but otherwise he did not want to wear it. We had to distract him so that he would continue wearing just this part. And so that's kind of what we got away with. And he kept calling it a jacket, so that was very cute. So that was a success. Next are going to be the Glory Allan cargo pants that I made as part of the Sew Club Society. I had purchased fabric for the project and realized I got the wrong weight when it got here, so I just put that to the side to repurpose for something else. And I picked this fabric up from my local resale shop, and so I was just like, okay, I'll just make a mock-up. I think I've said previously, I'm not really a pants person. I just wanted to participate and make something with the group. So I made the pants and they turned out fine. I will never wear them, and my friends said that they might try them on and see if they fit. Otherwise, they're gonna go to the resale shop. But yeah, I learned a lot of skills. This is my first time ever doing like a placket here. This has buttons in here instead of a zip, which there's absolutely no way I would have even attempted that. Obviously a cargo pant has like a million pockets, and I don't really like pockets on clothing unless they're absolutely necessary, which this pocket was absolutely necessary because it was part of the design here for the side seam, so I had to put that one in. Otherwise, no, I would not. No, I would not. The video for him making this is very helpful in terms of doing all of the top stitching and walking you through it step by step, and when to change things, how to put things on grain. Very, very well made. So I obviously I'm going to link that down below for you guys as a resource if you decide to ever make these. So the next one ended up being made on a whim because I found this McCall's pattern when I was at Joann's looking for something else, and I just saw this and I thought this would be so perfect for this vintage fabric that I had in my stash. And it was. So I put this together very quickly. I think I just made it on like a Saturday or something, just hanging out, and made it. And I love a MOTO style jacket, the cropped kind. I had a black one that I wore to threads. I did this one just because I had so much of this fabric in my stash and thought it would just come up quickly, and it did. It came out perfect. I love it, and I'm actually thinking about making a pattern next for November to go along with this, so we will see how that turns out. The pattern was very easy. I highly recommend it if you're interested in making a cropped jacket. It's not lined, so you don't have to deal with any of that stuff, which in another jacket I made, it was fully lined, and it is a lot more work, especially doing the lined sleeves. But this is kind of nice because you can wear things underneath it that are a little bit warmer, and get away with not having to do the lining, in my opinion. And if you just want to make something quick, this is a really great pattern. Okay, so we're talking lingerie with this next one. I have been wanting to have some more lingerie in my wardrobe for me to feel lovely and sexy, and so I have always just mostly made underwear in the past. I've tried one bra one time, and that was a giant fail because I have big titties and it is hard to fit them big titties. I found this seller online and I shared it with you in my plans. And I loved her design, so basically I just wanted to make a dupe of that for myself, and it came out so well. So this is the top, and it's just power net or power mesh, however you want to call it, just black. It's not double, it's just one layer, and it came out really nice. I do not have a serge or anything like that, so this was just zigzag stitched, and then I added a piece of elastic, black elastic on the bottom, and it, you know, holds me in nice. It looks appealing to me. In the pictures, you're gonna see me wearing it with a bra. I probably wouldn't wear it with the bra when I'm being in my lingerie mode, but it looks good with the bra too. So that is the top. So I would definitely recommend this pattern, and I'll show you the pattern, and it's linked down below. So you'll see that it was really simple, came together really easily, and on the top and the sleeves are two different patterns that I bought from the same seller, and she couldn't have explained it easier, and she also has YouTube videos, so yes, 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 highly recommend. The shorts. So in the inspo picture, I'm pretty sure the fabric is probably like a spandex fabric, but they didn't really have that at Joann's, and I wanted something that was Halloween and cute, patterned to go with the theme. So this is definitely not the right fabric for the pattern or the look that I was going for, but I made it, and I have the pattern for when I do find a more appropriate fabric in the future. But it does give the desired look that with the two pieces together, as you can see at the photos. I have a very long torso, and this fit fairly well for my long torso. It could be a little bit higher for me, but if you don't have a long torso or you have a short torso, this is gonna be a great pattern for you as well. The pattern was super, super simple, so if you want to make a little tap short for yourself as a lingerie piece or just a nighttime piece, this is a great pattern. The next one was an entire process. There's no getting around it. We started with one pattern. That pattern did not work. So then I tried to find a dupe for the pattern because I loved the aesthetics of what the pattern looked like on the outside. And so I went to Gertie, found the Gertie's Scout dress, which I've never made, and said, okay, let me use that element plus this element and blah, 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 blah. And whew, so I have like two different tests here. So of like fabric, I have the first test in this fabric and the second test in this fabric. I'm not going to show you because it doesn't matter. But the fit was not so good on the original pattern, which is this one, and then the second one, the pattern, it fit fairly well, so I said let's just go with it. And then I made an entire dress, which I don't have here because I sold it already, whoops. And that one turned out well. It was just in some fabric that I had in my stash, some like zombie fabric that I think I got from a friend. I made that up, and I liked how it fit for the most part. I think some of the binding was not 100% done. That was all me. So I used that. So that's 1, 2, 3, and now we're on to the final iteration of it, which ended up being fairly good. It's like 95% there. The aesthetic is there, 100%. It looks exactly like how I imagined it looking from the design of the original one that I was trying to recreate. So I used this beautiful fabric that I got. This just like a quilting, vintage inspired ghosts fabric from Joann's, and I had to buy so much fabric for this goddamn dress. It was too much. But whatever, we got the effect. So we made the dress, we got the cuffs on and realized one was going the right way and one is going the wrong way. So whatever, no one noticed, only I'm gonna notice. So there's that. And then I used these green buttons from my stash. I thought that they were perfect fit for this look. So that was all good. I paired it, I'll show you the pictures obviously. I paired it with a black belt that I had in there. It turned out really well. I wore it with some really high shoes, and I went to a Halloween party, and I lasted 2 hours, and then I went home and I took it all off because honestly I'm not used to wearing wigs, and this was a very long wig. And this hat that I made to match from a Keiko Lin tutorial that I found online that she made came out beautiful, but because I was wearing that synthetic wig, this bitch just kept falling off my head. What a goddamn mess. And obviously I could have like reinforced this much better, but I was just ready to be done with it. It was a success. It's gonna go in our Halloween costume bucket that I've officially made. I've officially made it for our family, so I'm so excited. We had one. It was in a garbage bag in my growing up, but we're having a bin. We're gonna have actual bin for my house. And last but not least, this beast. This is the Rizzo Jacket from Gertie. This pattern came out this month, came out in October, sorry. And it just called to me when I saw this fabric and I said, I'm gonna make it. And the aforementioned fabric that I had purchased for the Glory Allan pants that were not the right weight ended up becoming the lining to this little bee right here. So that was perfect. I probably worked on this every day for maybe an hour and a half for maybe 7 days. I woke up early before work and did this, a little bit of this every day. And it, you know what? Her directions are fairly good when she's teaching the process, so I was very appreciative that there was a video of this. I did run out of fabric for this one piece here, so you're gonna see this fabric was from also from Stone Mountain and Daughter. And so there's that. This was a labor of love. This was so involved, and I think it looks really nice. It has a pocket type that I've never done before here. It's so tiny. I don't think my phone would even fit through that. And that's the only pockets. The outside is fully just for aesthetics. I did put some of my vintage buttons from my collection on here. I did not have enough to match everything, but it does have the buttons on this one. I do have to roll it up for my sleeve length. I did not do any alterations. I just used the straight size out of this. What size did I use? Size 8 for me with a double D bust size. I love it. It came out really nice. I feel like a professional person in this. I think I got the zipper from Joann's. But look at that. Look at that. Who am I? I'm a seamstress. That's who. Anyways. We'll see how much use we get out of this for this season, but I am stoked. So that is everything that I made in the month of October. I was so ambitious and so driven that month. I'm saying to myself that I'm gonna rein it in a little bit for November. So we will see how that goes. Not sure. Looking at my thing right now, there's 6 projects there, and I think I'm adding one. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to stay in a budget now because I went so wild in October. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for joining me again in these adventures. I have been watching the new subscribers joining since I've revamped this here old YouTubes. It's been really cool seeing other sewists following me and participating and leaving comments, which I love it. I love having this interaction with you guys. It's very cool for me. I'm gonna tell you, I spend a lot of hours with my iPad there watching other seamstresses and doing my sewing, especially like on the weekends or early in the morning, which is kind of my vibe. So I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. You are gonna notice that these videos are a little bit out of order, and that's just because I'm kind of catching up with some old footage, but the plan is hopefully by December it'll be what I'm making in December, and then probably the week after that will be what I made in November, and going forth. And I have some ideas for some dupes where I will make a video that is all about just making a designer dupe. Because I have so many things on my Pinterest that I've always wanted, and there's no way I could afford it, so I thought it would be really cool to make them. So stay tuned for that if you are into sewing designer or into designers. I would love to share that with you. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to me so you can see my lovely face even more.